Hello, people. I would just like to encourage someone today. You might be feeling like you're in a very bad situation, things happening, and I know I I'm kind of in a situation myself. Last month I wasn't even sure if I would get paid, but at least I got paid that last month, and then this is the 31st of this month. And last week Monday, and it's Monday today, I found out that I'm not going to get paid. So I kind of know how it feels to be in a storm. And then you might say, but you're also in the storm. You're holding onto a tree for dear life. And the tornado is throwing cows past your head. And during all this, you hear this voice saying, hey, you look around and you look there at the back. There's me holding onto a tree for dear life. And I say, it's going to be okay. Just trust God, it's going to be okay. And you might be thinking, what are you talking about? We are in the same storm. See, while I was trying to figure out to pay all my bills and all, I sold my Xbox. And Saturday, my family was here. And they were all concerned, and what am I going to do with to get the rest of the money? And I just told them I'm going to trust God. While we were speaking about this, my one friend messaged me and said, oh, I sold the Xbox. How much do I still need? And I said, about 3,000 Rand. And he said, well, where's your bank details? And he wired me the money straight away. And then, yes, there's still another month. What about this month? See, I've been in this situation many times. And I'm to a point where I really trust God. My concern is not this month. My concern is not with material things. I've lost all my stuff a lot of times in my life. I sold everything, started again, sold everything, started again. And during those times, I don't always trust. So you might be at the point where you think, God provided for me now for the full amount I require for this month because I trusted Him. But to be honest, the previous 10 times, I didn't trust God. Me and my wife were fighting, and then God will provide just at the last end. And then we would have this attitude from, we dodged the bullet this month, what about next month? Even during those times, God always provided. He never failed us. And He didn't fail us this time. So, those days, I never testified. My testimony today is, during the storm, God provided till the last cent. And I also want to encourage you, if you may be in debt, those 10 times God provided, I was in debt, and it was one of my biggest concern was always the debt. Try to get out of debt as soon as you can. This is the first year I'm debt free. And that might be one of the reasons why it's not so stressful this time. See, I can sell off all my things and I can go from one family to another again and start my own projects, which I'm decided it's best to ask God for a project. during this situation, one thing came to mind. If you are not getting out what you're putting in, you are enslaved. You are working for someone that's underpaying you. And God will provide a door if we trust Him. It's been already about 10 years, maybe about 7 years. God has told me to do this project. And it was on and off, continuously. Because I've been committed to people. And if you commit to people, they will make sure you just have time for the commitment. The system of the world wants good employees. Employees that would just are willing to work for bare minimum to keep you there. The whole integrity thing, I've been there. And my word is, I honor my word. If I commit, I commit. But it's time to commit to what God called us. I mean, there is a scripture that says, the blessing of the Lord is abundant. And effortless labor doesn't add to it. Now, I know that there's people that misquote this, that says no labor. It doesn't say no labor. It says effortless labor. Be willing to put in something. You cannot put in nothing and expect something. Only God, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I was one of those guys. Slubberness was, I was playing games all the time, send out CVs, and that was my hope. You know, then I'm like, yes, what am I going to do? Just got to get this done, give me some time. Guess what I'm going to do this month? Do something. God has placed a dream in my heart for years. And I saw it grow into something where God opened doors. I had this big problem with dust allergies. And you say, yeah, okay, man of faith, dust allergies. You know, this dust allergies directed me into the direction I wanted to be in. Because if it wasn't for that, I would have still worked for the mines. And I would have probably ended up still working for the mines. So you can kind of see bad situations, but God really uses all situations for your good. Because when I started trusting God, He directed me. I ended up in youth service, and after that I thought I'm going to be a ministry man. And then these dreams came back, where I wanted to be a programmer. I wanted to go into the IT industry. But even opening a box, a PC box, that hasn't been cleaned for a while, gave me allergies. You know, they call it the flare, where your eye starts watering and everything itches and you're in bed for a week. But then I went into programming. I don't have any papers. And God opened a door at a software firm. And I got enough knowledge to start my own business in programming. God really opens doors. I can remember the day my dad did recondition car batteries, and I was helping out, and I thought that's going to be my, It's like a family business thing going. And I had a computer in the office, and I installed the IDE to program. And I look at a few things and I say, yeah, this is actually complicated. That same day, my friend phoned me that was working for a software firm. And they said they just need a guy that has enough experience in IT. Because they want to create a front-end developer and they want someone to work on the front end. But during that time, it was still in development, so I started working on the code myself. So I got to learn Java. Eventually I get to learn PHP, Android, coding Raspberry Pis to work with scales, RFID readers, and God just opened doors. One last thing, me and two friends wanted to start a business. They were still full-time employed, and we had this meeting, and yes, I was feeling all positive. The moment I left, and I was starting walking out of the door, and I realized I'm going to move. It's about 45 kilometers from where they are. And it was a situation like now. I didn't have any money. They are full-time employed, and I are obviously going to be the one working on the project. And for that moment, I felt very discouraged. We were at the one restaurant, and somebody I did work for, I helped him with his email issues, was sitting just in the other restaurant. And I look at him, and as I walk out, God says, go speak to him. And I'm like, yes, is this really God? Why do I feel this big urge to speak to him? And I say, okay, if this is God, I'm going to wait for him outside. And if he walks that direction, I have opportunities to speak to him. So I'm standing there, and it was late already at night. I was like, yeah, this is going to, maybe, I don't know, maybe I must just go home. And God said, I told you, go talk to him. And he and two of his colleagues were busy eating pizza, minding their own business, and now I'm walking into this restaurant, looking all confused, and I'm saying, hey, how are you doing? I saw you, and I just want to greet you. And he said, sit, have some pizza, and we're having a talk, and he's asking, what am I doing now? And I'm told him I'm in software development, and he said, that's exactly what he needs now. He's busy with RFID scanning equipment, and he wants an app to be developed to communicate with the servers and all that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I can do that and all that. And it started off, the only thing he paid me was transport. For about 3 or 4 months, nothing came of that project. But during that time, he told two other guys, yes, this guy is working hard. He's doing his thing. You can trust him. And for 4 years, I've been working with, mostly with the last guy he referred me to. And that was enough to sustain me, to give me more experience, and to actually concentrate on the projects I'm busy working with. Everything happens for a reason. And you might be at a situation where you thought, this was the door God opened. This was the one that's supposed to be my retirement plan, and now it closed. Maybe that was just the door so that you can have your own retirement plan. Because sometimes when we merge with people, they have their own ideas. And you never know the heart of a man unless it's time to retire. And then you might see you've been working for 50 to 50 or 60, and they're the ones walking away with the project or with the fruit. So just be encouraged. God never failed me. He has opened doors that no man could possibly thought of. If I have to tell every testimony that I have, it's going to take a while. It's going to be okay. Just trust in God. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.